G'day guys, I'm Kwackajack, and this is the incredible Kawasaki ZX-14. This is an 09 model of one of Kawasaki's most legendary motorcycles, and when it was released, not only was it the fastest, but it was the most powerful production motorcycle in the world. Today we've been lucky enough to take it out for a few hours to do our first ride and review, which I'll show you in just a second. But before we do that, let's have a good look around at this monster. The beating heart inside is a 1352cc liquid-cooled inline-4 cylinder, producing around 190 horsepower at 9,500 RPM and a whopping 154 Nm of torque at 7.5. It's capable of going 0 to 100 in about 2.5 seconds and onto a max of 300. It's equipped with a 43mm inverted cartridge fork at the front and a bottom link unitrack gas charged shock at the back, both of which are adjustable. You've got two 310mm discs with 4 piston calipers to stop you at the front end and a single 250 at the rear. You're also sitting at a height of 800mm on a bike that weighs 257 kilograms with its 22-litre tank fully fueled. This particular model has got just over 53,000 Ks on it, has had its major services done recently, and will be available for $9,990. This one does have an aftermarket exhaust on it, but let's have a listen to how it sounds. I also want to take a second to thank our friends over at Team Moto Kawasaki in Bowen Hills. They're the guys that lent me this bike, and by the time you're watching this, it will be up for sale. If you're in the market for a new one just like this, or to sell the one you've already got, make sure you go around and check them out. And make sure to mention that I sent you. All right, let's hop on for our first ride before coming back for my final review. Oh boy. Alrighty, here we go. Oh my God. Alrighty guys, well today we are on an absolute monster of a bike. This is a 2009 Kawasaki ZX-14. When it came out, this was the most powerful bike in the world. So this 1350cc monster is limited to 300 kilometers an hour. Just 300. But it'll get to that speed in 5th gear with another one to spare. It can also run the quarter mile in under 10 seconds. So we really have got to be on our game today. I am aware of my skill set and what this thing is capable of. How does it handle the corners? I have to say, considering the heft, whew, this thing is taking corners surprisingly well. Woo! Had a bit of a slide there on the back wheel. The brakes here are doing a really good job as well. That front one has a lot of bite. Okay, here we go. Let's see how it handles here. Wow, it's surprisingly nimble for the size of it. Oh! And flick. Yeah. Hold its line. Nice. I'm surprised at how tame it is when you're going easy. I rode here through Brisbane City and we're going slow now, and the throttle is butter smooth. The gears are lovely to go up and down with. You'd think, being the most powerful bike in the world, having close to 200 max horsepower, that it would be a little bit harder to ride, but no, it's a cinch. I'm really astonished at the weight. Fully fueled like it is now, it's sitting just under 260 kilos. I think it's 257, and it doesn't feel like a whale to move around. It looks like a big and intimidating bike, but when you're on it,
Wow, it just slides around the corners. Now there is a bit of heat coming from down there between my legs. Now that may be just me being excited with the power that's on tap. But obviously, look, it's a hot Brisbane day here. I think it's about 32 degrees, and considering the size of the engine, I think it's doing a pretty good job at keeping it at bay. Oh my god! The power on this thing, it's less nuclear bomb and more tsunami. It just slowly floods in until it overwhelms you. Oh. She gets some looks. All right. That is crazy. Fucking Kawi power. It's so strange because it can be as gentle as you want, but it can also rip your head off at the same time. I've been on this thing for well over an hour now, and the seat is just as comfortable as when I got on. Even though I'm in a forward-facing seating position, it's really comfortable. There is a little bit of pressure on your hands, but you know, it's not too bad, and the seat is plush. Going over some rougher roads here, and the suspension's doing a really good job of eating the smaller bumps. The sports tourer nature really coming out there. Wow, there just seems to be torque no matter where you are in the rev range or what gear. If you want it, it's there. I'm taking it pretty easy now. I don't want to yeet myself off this mountain. Because this thing will do it. This thing will take you to the fucking moon. Now earlier this year I was lucky enough to go on a trip to Japan, and as you do, I took a ride on the legendary Shinkansen, the bullet train. And honestly, that's what this feels like. Amazingly fast, but surprisingly comfortable. You're on something that can go over 300 kilometers an hour, but do it in comfort. Now, I don't know if I'd be comfortable going that fast. But the way that this thing handles speed, it's just like that. Bullet train, bullet bike. Insane. And what a soundtrack to go along with it.
So what are my final thoughts on the ZX-14? Well, it's insane, but surprisingly so. Not only was it the most powerful and fastest bike when it was released, but even today, it holds up as an incredible all-rounder. Before I hopped on, to be honest, I was a little bit intimidated by the spec sheet and the title that it's held. But it put all of that anxiety to rest within 2 minutes of setting off. I took it here through Brisbane City where it was fantastic, and even here in the mountains, in the twisties, it was so comfortable. I reckon it's more than capable of commuting, 2-up sporty touring, track days, drag racing, posing with it, whatever you want to do, I think this thing would be capable. Besides taking it off-road, don't do that. The engine and power is phenomenal, not only because of how much you get, but because of how you get it. Around town, it's like a tame, easygoing dragon, just lying in wait, waiting for you to unleash it. And when you do, it's like a tidal wave of torque and top-end rush that just doesn't stop. It's not like today's 1000cc bikes where you're afraid of the throttle. It's calm and collected until you decide that you want to unleash it. It is a large motorcycle, but again surprising in how nimble and easy to handle it is. It's like a super sports tourer. And it won't be able to attack corners as hard as dedicated super sports, but it's got all the performance you'd ever want from something like this. I felt proportionate on here too, which is not something that I say often, and it was so comfortable. The seat is plush.
The brakes thankfully handled well too, and they definitely got a good workout today. I really liked the cockpit style dash. It felt appropriate for a bike that often felt like it could take off if it wanted to. Considering the price of this one, which is 10 grand, and how much performance you're getting, it's huge value for money. It's a real head turner too, especially in this orange. I had someone come up and compliment it when I was fueling up on the way out here, and I think I probably had about 5 people give me a thumbs up as I was riding. It has got some serious presence and is a very well-loved bike. Overall, it's a real experience to ride one. And I said the same about a Panigale V4. That was an experience because it felt raw and like it wanted to rip my head off, but this one is because it's got a literal ton of grunt and it's so refined and has the history and once title of top dog. If you're looking at one for a tourer, do it. I know it sounds ridiculous, but this bike, which just happens to be one of the most powerful in the world, also happens to be a great one you could live with. With the interest that I've seen on this one so far, I know that it's not going to last long in the shop. But there you have it guys, the Kawasaki ZX-14. It's been phenomenal and a real honor to ride one. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and until next time, see ya. Oh, fuck. Powerful production motorcycle in the world.
So this is the fastest car in the world.
For something just like this. Oh, fuck. I don't know if you can see it from there, but there's some fucking big horseflies. And they actually bite you. I would much rather encounter a bee than a horsefly. They suck. I keep this here just in case I need it. It is a large motorcycle. What the fuck is that? It is a lot. Fucking hell, mate. What the fuck is that? Is it fucking turkey dying? It is a large motorcycle, especially in this orange. Oh, fuck. You dog. I swear, mate, these bugs are doing my head in. Fuck off.